Hello and welcome to this episode of KatchUp with Gaurav and Aadit. Today we're going to talk about a competition that Aadit has recently participated in called the Halton Skills. So Aadit, why don't you dive in and tell us what is Halton Skills?
Okay, well, Halton Skills is a competition in which schools have different teams for various events. For example, I, for WH Morton, did mechanical engineering. But there's a lot, like greenhouse and all these other cool things. And basically, to all the teams from the different schools clash against each other for top prizes.
Got it. Maybe let's take a step backwards, right? How does a person even get into something like Halton Skills?
So for most schools, I think that there's a tryout, and since there's so many people and limited teams, there would have to be some tryouts. And when I went there, I was really nervous, but over time I did really good and I made it in, so I was really happy that time.
Was this the first time for you going into a competition like this?
Yes, definitely. I remember my cousin had also went for this before, and I was really excited when I heard of this, and I knew I had to try it.
Got it. And how did you make a team? Like, was it something that your teacher or your school, directed you to, or was it more of a voluntary thing?
Again, during the tryouts, the teachers put us into teams looking at our strengths and our weaknesses, and according to that, we prepared up into teams.
Got it. Okay, so walk me through your experience in Halton Skills. How, from the moment when the teams got selected, what were the steps like? How did you prepare for the competition, going on to actually in the competition?
So firstly, there's something called scopes. So if you look into the website, there's a lot of different cool things that you can look at. Some things that happened before and past, and it'll basically give you a basic understanding of what's going to be happening there and how you can prepare. So me and my team from the start were meeting up, we're trying different things, failing and getting better and better.
Okay, so you prepared with your friends. Did you prepare during school hours, after school hours? How did you prepare?
We couldn't prepare after school because we always had classes, but we always made sure to find time during school, during recess or breaks or something like that.
Good. That takes a lot of motivation to spend your break time and prepare for these competitions. So tell me more about the competition topic. You said you participated in mechanical engineering.
Yes.
Did you choose mechanical engineering?
Yes, as the teachers felt that it was my strength. And basically, when you get there, it's a really good experience.
Did some school teachers help you during this process?
Yes, our science teacher was really big help here because she's the one who organized everything, gave us everything to practice.
Okay, awesome. So what exactly were you preparing? Like, was it like some sort of robot? Was it some Lego? What?
Well, in the scopes, it described there was a Lego Robotics kit, and in that there would be a problem given to you that us real humans experience in our lives. For example, when I went there this year, it was all about the windows and how when people try to change windows, it can be really difficult and it might not be the most safe. So we had to design a robot that could get people higher and make sure it can hold the windows weight too.
So Adit, this is not your first time experience with Lego robots, right?
Yes.
You've had experience before. Why don't you tell our audience more about that?
Before this, I've also done a competition called FLL, something like it. But in this, there's usually a mat, a big mat, and on there's different missions, like maybe flipping a lever or picking something up and dropping it, and you had to make a robot that could solve all these missions.
So this, what you're explaining, is the FLL
Yes.
Lego competition, and what you recently did was the Halton Skills. In terms of difficulty, how would you rate both of them against each other?
I think Halton Skills is a very, very fun competition. At the same time, it's very pressuring because all of the stuff happens on the day that you go there. So you have to be really prepared for it. Difficulty, I would say definitely Halton Skills is a teensy bit easier for me because for FLL you have to prepare at home and you have to do a lot more effort for it because there's more aspects to it than just coding.
Coming back to Halton Skills, right? So explain our viewers and audience what happened on the day of the competition.
So firstly, we had to take a bus because it was a really long ride. And when we got there, it was different rooms, one for each competition. And basically, as soon as you get in, there's going to be like a big whiteboard. And this was same for every single event, right? And there would be a different problem for every event, like I explained. And our problem was the window one. We got into our team, we had a desk, we had our kit, Lego Robotics kit, and we started brainstorming ideas and started building it.
Got it.
Halfway through, we would get pizza and we would take break.
Good that they fed you during the competition. But tell me, how big was your team size?
It's four. Yes, it's a group of four, and you had to be from grade 4 to 6.
You had 4 to 6, 4 people. Awesome. And tell me more about your team dynamics. Over all of them, did you gel well? How did you divide work among yourselves? Were there instances where there was friction among the team players?
In Halton Skills, teamwork is a big part of the criteria if you want to do good. And making sure that you don't have some arguments with your teammates is a big part of it. So we divided the work and we all took shifts. Someone doing something else, the coding, and someone doing the building. That way we make sure everyone had a part and say in each part of the job.
Can you elaborate on the work division part of it?
It would be me and another teammate. We would be working on building the robot while we would be giving insights on the people who were coding how to maybe code and what they would need to do. So that way it was evenly divided.
Okay. How long was this competition?
It took almost 6 hours, and you had 6 hours to build this on the day of the competition.
So it was your school bus which took you to the competition place?
Yes.
What time?
Around 9 or 5.
To drop you there. Okay. If you had to give before I go there, how did you do in the competition?
So we were really excited at starting, but then when we got the problem, we were really stumped. We didn't know what to do. But then we got an idea about how we could lift it, and everything was going good. But then in the end, a lot of things started going downhill, and at the end of it, we were not exactly as the most happiest with the turnout, but it went well. And basically, all the other teams also did really well. But at the end of it, only 2 teams from the 10 move on to the next level of this.
And you unfortunately did not move to the next round. People learn from their failures as well. What have you learned from this year's Halton Skills, and what learnings would you take to your next competition?
I would definitely say to our viewers here that never to celebrate before it's over, because our team was really happy that we got an idea. And I think that you should just really practice and look at the scopes really carefully so that you have a good understanding of what's going to happen there and how you could prepare for it, and make sure that when you get there, you're not what to do. Definitely, it was a really fun experience, and next time I will have my new learnings in me too.
Okay, I think this is a wrap. Thank you everyone for listening and watching us. Keep watching. Do subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button. Thank you.
Do I have to use it? I'm done for